everyone, and welcome to New Trials, the podcast. I'm Preya.
And I'm Melanie.
The New Trials of Captor Sakura, Syaoran, and Friends is a popular, ongoing fanfic by Wishluv, and it's based off of Clamp's Captor Sakura. And each episode, we'll do a deep dive of a chapter. Let's get into it. Halloween time, Melanie.
So fun. It's too bad we're not recording this on Halloween. We're missing it by literally a week, I think.
Oh, that's okay. We had a bit of the spirit before, and now we get to, it's pretty close. Like we said, we're in the same kind of time period that the New Trials timeline is flowing in our real time. So I'm just gonna say it's close enough.
Yeah, for sure. What do you guys do for Halloween? Anything?
Honestly, we just got the house. Oh, you know what? It's funny because yeah, we got the house on the 26th, so we knew that we were going to be busy for Halloween, but we actually did Halloween stuff prior to getting the house. So literally on September 30th, we drove like an hour and a half outside of Montreal, and there was this haunted farm, and basically it's like this old-timey like heritage villages. Like if you go on a regular day, you get to see the schoolroom, you get to see the blacksmith, and whatnot. But every single one of those little huts were decorated as haunted houses, and they had scare actors both outside and inside. And because it was the first night, the lines weren't even long, so we were there for a good like I don't know, like two hours, 2 hours and a half, just having a really fun, spooky time.
Oh my God, I love that. It's so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we did another haunted house and corn maze um a few weeks after that. So we still got our Halloween on, even though we couldn't celebrate on the day.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, let's see. The new thing around here is trunk or treats. And I've always loved Halloween, but it's even more fun now that I'm a mom. So we went to like this little trunk or treat thing on Sunday, and we dressed up as Mary Poppins, Bert, and the Dancing Penguin from Jolly Holiday, Mary Poppins. And Luna, she just turned 3. So she's just at the point now where she's sort of kind of getting it a little bit more. And then we actually tried trick or treating on the day of. Like, she doesn't know she's supposed to like hold out her bag and say trick or treat and all that. It's mostly she walks up with mommy or daddy, holds out her bag, or just reaches and grabs candy. But we only went up and down our street this year, and we're like, you know what? We'll call it good. We might do more of the neighborhood next year, but yeah, it's so much fun once you have a kid. I've always been a child at heart, and it's even more fun now that I'm a parent that I get to do it.
Oh yeah, no, once she's 4 years old, she's gonna get it down pat.
Yeah, I'm excited.
What were some of your favorite Halloween costumes from the past?
Oh man, that's a good question. Well, last year we were Guardians of the Galaxy. I was Gamora. My husband was Peter Quill. And then our little one was Groot, which was pretty fun. And so that's like a family costume. And then before we had kiddo, I was a walker or a zombie. And then my husband was the officer guy. I see, I'm not a Walking Dead fan, but my husband is. So I did a whole zombie makeup. And for our listeners that don't know, I do makeup artistry on the side. So I really enjoy doing makeup, especially like FX type makeup. And then one I did for my channel, which isn't technically a costume, but I did a Red Riding Hood with her neck ripped out. I thought that one was super cool. But yeah, how about you, Priya?
Let's see. I haven't been that creative with costumes. Like when I was in elementary school, I remember one year I was Dorothy from Wizard of Oz. That was cute. I was also Red Riding Hood for a friend's party. When I was in my graduating class in high school, we had a masquerade ball just for the grads, and my mom, she made a witch costume for me, and it was nicer than anything you'd find in the store. So it had like the flared sleeves, made out of this like sparkly material. So yeah, I was really into that. But no, you win when it comes to Halloween costumes.
Well, I'm jealous you've been to a masquerade ball. That is on my bucket list. I've always have wanted to go to a masquerade ball.
Well, it was labeled as a masquerade ball, but nobody wore masks.
Uh, and speaking of masquerade, is this correct? I know, correct me if I'm wrong, but is this technically the last Halloween chapter, like where it's actually on Halloween and they're in costumes and whatnot? Because I know the masquerade happens in arc 4, but I don't think that's Halloween.
No, actually, it is Halloween because I was looking at the timeline because it's been a couple of years and like 2.5 years, even though it's been 23-ish years for us. I want to say it's been like 2.5 years for Sakura and the gang, 14 to 15, 15 to 16, 16 to 17. Let's say 3 years. So the first Halloween that we see is in arc one. The second Halloween
Mm-hmm.
happens time period wise, it happens in arc three, but it just gets overlooked. That's like around the time of the battle between the sun and moon. So the Syaoran versus Ariel battle, that was October, and Miho's fantasy. So
Uh,
so so that happened
uh,
in October, but no, there was no like Halloween thing. But then in arc four, when the masquerade ball happens, that's actually like Halloween in the timeline.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought so. Because when I was listening to this, I was thinking and I was like, I don't think there's been a dedicated Halloween chapter since then. But then the masquerade ball was ringing a bell. But I think I was just so enamored that it was a masquerade ball the whole time in my head that I must have just overlooked that it was
I can
Halloween.
confirm that's definitely a Halloween party. Okay, let's get started talking about this chapter. So today, Melanie and I are going to be talking about chapter 8, The Angel of Hallows Eve. This chapter was posted either in the spring or summer of 2000. It's 6,173 words, which is almost half the length of chapter 7, and our characters are in 8th grade in October. And most of the chapter takes place actually on Halloween, October 31st. Time for the summary. Before he woke up, we briefly heard Sharon's thoughts in his dream and learned that he did not love Sakura anymore in order to protect himself from the pain of losing her when she's taken away. Still worn out, Sakura used her cards to draw energy she needed to get through the day, starting with a 5 a.m. training session with Sharon. The students are looking forward to the Halloween festival. Tomoyo dressed Sakura as an angel. At the festival, Tomoyo convinced Sharon to wear the costume she designed for him. As the Prince of Darkness, Sharon complimented Angel Sakura, which left him disgruntled. Aaron and Sharon competed to give Sakura a doll, but since Aaron got to her first, Sharon gave his to Erika, much to her delight and Sakura's fury. Sakura noticed that her cards were acting strange, and when the haunting broke its seal, she ran away. Although she learned that on Halloween the ghosts were able to do as they pleased, Sakura still captured the force once again. Later on, the twins discussed the time when they would be able to be at their full power once more.
So what did you think about her using the cards to making herself feel better and all of that?
Okay, so I know that in a very early episode of our podcast, I was low key talking about, oh, Wish-chan doesn't really use the OG cards. Um, yeah, that came to bite me in the butt. My apologies to Wish-chan for complaining about how they rarely make appearances. I totally forgot about these.
But in our defense, it's been probably a long time since we've read arc one, Oh, it's too funny.
So yeah, like when I was reading her choices of fiery and power and illusion, like power and illusion, that made sense, but I never knew that fiery could be used well, new, but like I really like the way that Wish-chan she made fiery to be more than the literal sense.
hmm Yeah, I thought that was a very interesting choice, but but a good choice though. I thought that was super cool to expand the cards like that, you know.
But going back a bit, I really liked your introduction. It's like the way that you started the audiobook chapter as Syaoran, it really got me sucked in.
His beginning monologue in this chapter, it's pretty dark. It really sets the tone for Halloween, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I was actually entertaining the thought of doing an audiobook of New Trials myself a couple years ago. I'm so glad that you're doing it because your character voicing chops, it's so good. So good.
Ah, thank you.
Like I really felt Sharon's anguish.
Gotta tap into that inner angsty teenage boy. I do think it's interesting that he talks about the dark ones taking away his angel and all of that. And, I almost wonder, because a lot of their dreams that they have is prophetic, but I was almost thinking that I don't think this is a prophetic dream for Sharon. I almost wonder if this was something that Ryuren felt when they took away Nadesco from him. And so maybe this is like him tapping into like his father's memory, sorta, and then it's imprinting into like his present with Sakura and making him feel those feelings. What do you think?
I think all of their visits to the past, it's not unlikely because it's like there's already the magic that's taking them back in the past, and there's got to be some kind of residue, like something
Mm-hmm.
that leaves like some kind of footprint or fingerprint.
Yeah.
And definitely like if you're in the middle of doing something, then you're going to be dreaming about it a lot. Like my boyfriend, he has dreams about the house because he's building it from scratch. So it's like, yeah, yeah, gutting out the whole thing and then and as a contractor, he's just rebuilding it. So he's working the house all day and then he's dreaming about the house at night. So
Or
I think
Cameron.
I think Sharon is just really has the past on his mind, his father on his mind, because as we're gonna see in this chapter, he actually opens up about it.
Yeah, he does.
Chapter it introduces us to Sakura's 5 a.m. training.
Good for her. I'd be like, forget about it. I don't care how cute you probably look working out. Forget it, buddy.
See, it's like, and I consider myself as a morning person, but there's no way I could be at a said place at 5 a.m. because she has to wake up like what, 4:30?
Exactly. Because like, even though she says she doesn't like him, but all girls, even girls as naturally beautiful as Sakura, are going to do their hair of some sort, put on some type of lip gloss before you go. Like, hello, like every girl is going to do that no matter what. And so, yeah, she had to have at least woke up at 4:30 or 4:15 to get ready, I would think. And Toya was up. What was Toya doing up that early?
Probably study. Probably he had an early shift at the hospital.
Yeah. Well, I think he's still in college technically, right?
That's true. That's true. That's true. They're still studying. Well, maybe he's getting ready for an exam.
Yeah. I know MCAT labs can run early because I almost went to medical school and yeah, they can run really early in the morning. So yeah.
I have to give Sakura so much credit on like just to stay on top of her training. And Sharon's not the nicest teacher either.
Demon teacher, as they say.
That's what I have written in my notes. I would not be able to handle Sharon as a demon teacher.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. No, what's funny is a couple weeks ago, I actually went to an adult taekwondo class just because I always wanted to do taekwondo when I was little and I never got to. And my local little taekwondo gym down the street had like just an open adult night and I had so much fun. But even though my teacher was this tiny, tiny, cute little woman, I just loved her to death. But even she was like super intimidating. Like, just like, gotta hit harder, put your arms in, hit hard, hit hard, hit hard. And so like that was intense. And so I can't imagine with Sharon being like, no, you gotta do it this way, not this way.
That's why I thought it was so funny when Sakura actually knocked him out.
Yes, I was like, you go, girl.
But yeah, so this is the moment when Sharon opened up about losing his father. So I think like all the visits to the flashbacks, It really made him think about that, and it's rare for him.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely something we never saw in the original CCS, and so I think it's Wish Chan again kind of um, expanding his character a bit. But I also think it just shows just how comfortable he is with Sakura, that he just feels that comfortable to talk to her about it, even though he swears up and down still that's not the case. But, like just the fact that he'd be that comfortable even slightly bringing it up, I think really
Yeah.
shows his true intentions.
No, for sure. There's like, no matter what he says, there's always going to be a bond. And yes, rocky roads are ahead for us.
Goodness.
Let's move on to Halloween. I love Sakura's dress, and the detail that Wish-chan gave to it is just like brings everything to life.
Oh, it's just perfect. Yeah. And like, there's so many little details. Like I knew Sakura was an angel in this chapter. I remember that from like forever, but all the small little details I forgot, especially like the satin ribbons that run down the skirt into like the little roses on the bottom. I was like, man, I forgot all of that, but just how she paints, kind of how we talked about in the past, like the way she describes outfits is just glorious for fan artists.
Hmm. Yeah. Tomoyo coordinating SNS's costume, favorite thing ever.
She's just the absolute best. And he was like, don't pretend to be innocent. I know you did this.
It's like, look, I have a flower and it matches Sakura's flower belt. It's like you made this happen.
I like how all the characters look from her to him and they're like, what?
You know what? Maybe they wouldn't have noticed if he didn't bring it up.
100%. 100%. I would have been like, oh, that's a nice little like dark suit that you're wearing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it matches your personality. Cool. It's like he
Mm-hmm.
was the one who linked himself with Sakura in the first place. I love it.
I almost wonder if he brought that up subconsciously in front of Aaron to be like, look, I match her. You don't. Obviously, her friends want me with her and not you. So deal with it.
Oh yeah, you can give her all the toys that you win as much as you want. But it did break my heart a little bit when Syaoran gave his toy to Erica. I'm like, ah.
Oh, all these, yeah. Oh, these next few chapters are so infuriating, but gotta go through the storm before you get to the reward, as they say.
Yes, 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 yes. And I want to say thank you to Moyo for asking the one question to Syaoran that was in all our minds. The way it's like, did you come back to Japan to be with Sakura?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She is a true friend, that girl. And
Yeah.
and going back to his costume, do you think it's a foreshadow of sorts of of his fantasy? Like, when he's in the fantasy realm and he's like the kind of like the dark prince, like when Sakura goes in the fourth arc, or do you think it's a Kaido magician foreshadow?
Well, I know that 13-year-old Wish-chan absolutely had no idea of what was going to happen in Arc 4. So that was definitely not on purpose. Kaiju Magician, I never linked the two together. I just thought of it
Mm-hmm.
as a way of, ooh, let's get SNS in coordinating outfits. But I never even thought that it could be foreshadowing what's to come.
The little line in there of the doll that Edon gave to Sakura, they described it as they're like, oh, it looks like Mooney-chan, and the irony of Edon giving her a doll that looks like Mooney-chan.
You know what? It like if you think about it, Aaron is the one who picks the doll. So of course he's gonna pick the Mooney-chan one. Oh, I never even I keep forgetting that Mooney-chan is like the sacred animal of the Chang twins. And at this point, I think Wish-chan doesn't even know. I wanna like but the fact that it makes so much sense for Aaron to gravitate towards a Muni-chan doll and give that one to Sakura. Oh, I love that. I never even put the two together. Going back to Tomoyo asking Syaoran and the way that he said it's like, oh, I don't have feelings for her. Do you think this is the moment that he realized, oh, I'm gonna have to really be blunt with Sakura?
No, because there is a chapter here coming up pretty soon where him and Tomeo have like a more serious conversation about it, and it makes him realize that the conversation needs to happen. I only know that since I'm recording ahead of our podcast. So I think it at least got on his radar in this chapter, but he doesn't come to like the final decision for like another 2 or 3 chapters, I think.
Yeah, thinking of the timeline, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yep.
it's like I don't remember arc one as much as the later arcs, but nobody can take icy barriers like out of their heads. Oh, that bridge scene it wrecks us all.
Uh, yep.
So the haunting gets loose, and I'm really glad that they all came to a realization that the haunting is going to do what it wants on October 31st, and it's not a knock on Sakura being a bad card mistress.
Yes, although my theory is the reason why it got released so easily anyways is because she misused the cards at the beginning of the chapter.
I like that theory because even when she was using all three cards, she's like, oh, Kiro better not find out because it's like it can have consequences. And even in New Trials canon, it's like our next October 31st is an arc three, but it's kind of glossed over because it's like the Miho fantasy drama and the Ariel versus Sharon duel drama. And then we see our next Halloween in arc four for the masquerade. There's no haunting.
Nope, I don't, and it hasn't been brought up again since, I don't think. Well, maybe. Because isn't there like a haunted house or something at some point and she puts it in there to make it more scary?
Oh, that'd be funny. I know what scene you're talking about, but I don't remember what cards she uses.
It's like ringing a bell, but I don't. Here I just reread Arc 4 too, and I
Yeah.
already can't remember.
Oh, that's okay. But Sakura seeing all those ghosts, it makes me think of the Sixth Sense.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so in the end, I'm glad that she was able to recapture the haunting because I would not have been able to put up with that either.
Oh, I would be so distracted. And then I love the fact that Eran and Erika are like pretending not to know. They're like, Sakura-chan, why do you look so tired? Like, is something wrong?
They're just goading her. It's like we used the veil, so she doesn't know we're the bad guys.
See, I could never be a villain because I would never be able to like keep a straight face in those type of situations. Like it'd be written all over my face that I was like doing something I'm not supposed to do.
Uh, so we've gotten to the end of the chapter. Is there anything else you'd like to mention?
No, Takashi tells the history of Halloween, which I think is super fun before Chiharu kind of like drags him off. But yeah, it's based off of Samhain, which is a pagan holiday, which is super neat. And yeah, really recommend reading up on it. But yeah, what he speaks about is truth, believe it or not.
I was in the sixth grade when our teacher told us the exact same story, and that was actually when I was dressed as Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. So his
Ah.
speech just ended. Okay, everybody in scary costumes, you're okay, but you, it's like you're not fooling anybody. They're gonna get you. We have to talk about Dark Force Corner. We have Fiery Power Illusion. And Sakura, she's talking about how a side effect, there's going to be a side effect from misusing the cards. And I really like the way that you called out, oh, the haunting is loose. This actually made me think of the heel.
Oh, uh-huh.
It
Yeah.
just like in a sense because the way that because when she has the heal, using it has like a direct consequence on her health. So the fact that the whole theory of it's like misusing cards is going to be detrimental, and soon we're going to get the heal, and then we're going to see like Sharon's going to be like, "Don't use it. It's like you're going to hurt yourself." So this was just making me think of foreshadowing for what's to come.
Yeah, my brain didn't even go there. But yeah, you're 100% right. It kind of does show like, yeah, the repercussions. Hmm.
And although it was already captured, the haunting decided to release itself on Halloween. So,
Hmm.
for the first and last time, let's just say that I think maybe the second time Sakura captures the haunting, makes it sealed, despite the fact it's October 31st, since it never really comes out again.
Well, and her powers just get more and more powerful too. So even if it wanted to, like a year later, she's a year more powerful at that point too. So it might not have even been able to, even if it wanted, you know?
Yeah. We also have appearance of the sleep, and I think this is the first time Sakura uses sleep in New Trials history.
Yeah, that sounds correct. Hmm.
Yeah, because she wanted to capture the haunting. And finally, to capture the haunting, she uses light and the loop.
Yes, which I thought that was really a really good idea.
It's a good combination. I would probably wouldn't have even thought about it, but good for Sakura, good for Wish-chan. Okay, so now we're going to move on to fan art spotlight. So Asume, Maria, we also highlighted her last week. So back in the early days of the fandom, she drew two really, really cute chibi Halloween fan arts. So one is Angel Sakura and Prince of Darkness Syaoran in chibi. And all of the descriptions that was Shen mentioned, she's incorporated it in this version of her SNS Halloween. And she
So
also
cute.
drew Erica and Aaron in their outfits. Erica is a gypsy and Aaron is a pirate.
I love
So,
her drawing style. It's so cute.
and then in 2020, during the 30 days of new trials or 31 days of new trials drawing challenge, the prompt was wearing an animal costume. So I drew Mei Lin in her cat costume. And just as a nod to Maria's art, I also drew Tomoyo in her Queen of Hearts filming Sakura.
I love Malin's face. It's the best.
So we'll share all of those on Facebook and Instagram. We're ready for the author's note.
All right. So we have Wish Chan. What a random chapter. Haha. Seriously. Why is Shadow so bratty, mean, and aloof? You'll see. Actually, that's part of his charm. Haha. I love his scowl as much as his smile. Xiao Chan. Ugh, crazy girl. Wish Chan. Hey, Lee Kun. How do you like being the main character, not the sidekick in Card Captors? Lee. Better than starring all the junk written by crazy fanfic girls. Was Chan, ha ha, and it's just the beginning of the torture you'll be going through for the rest of new trials. Okay, now, what is up with Syaoran? No comment. Hey, did you notice how Maylin's starting to become a wiser, more mature character? She still has annoying habits, but she really is not a bad sort. Oh yeah, apologies for any profanities throughout the story, but then I realized they do curse in the manga as well. I'll try to keep it minimal. By the way, I'm on a marathon new trials writing session. No offense or anything, but I like Shadon being bratty, grouchy, mean person. Why? Because I know that he is the sweetest angel inside. Annyeong! I have a soft spot for those sort of guys. What's up with the angel and the devil? Too cloverish or wedding peachish? Hee hee. Thanks to Tomeo's ingenious mind, do you think they'll look cute in opposite costumes? That's it.
I like the mention of the Card Captors series because the way that the American version is, it's like the first episode is the lightning because it's when Sharon comes in the scene.
Mm-hmm.
which
Mm-hmm.
is so stupid because it starts off with the windy. It's like, how do they explain that? I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember when I first actually sat down to read like actual card Captor Sakura, or not read, sorry, watch. I was like, oh, there's like 5 episodes before Syaoran even comes on the scene.
I know. It's like the Americans, they were so like in Nirvana, I think Nirvana. So I can't remember the company, but
Mm-hmm.
they were
Mm-hmm.
so like driven to make it like attract a boy audience. So they just beefed up Sharon as much as they could, and they kind of like even the it was obviously card captor Sakura, and they just changed it to card captors.
Mm-hmm. Well, even Sakura's voice is it's kind of on the deeper side too. Like Tori, I think is how she sounds. Like I'm Sakura.
I can't go back. I got so used to Japanese like subbed, and then when I went to dubbed, I think I lasted 3 seconds before I'm like, delete, get out, get out, get out. No, it's too slow.
Oh, it's so bad. And I finished rewatching Cardcaptor Sakura on Netflix not too long ago, and just out of like curiosity, I was like, I wonder what this dub sounds like. And Sharon literally sounds like he's from the Bronx, New York, when he talks. Like he's like, I forget, he said something like, what you getting at? Are you gonna get them car? Like I can't do it, but he sounded like he was from New York, like when I lived there, and like with the Bronx. Like we'll get some coffee.
Oh no. Oh no.
and then and then Kiro, because you know Kiro is supposed to have an Osaka or a different
Yes.
accent. So how they did that is they made him sound like the biggest hick. He had like a country accent, like did I ever mention Shadow?
Oh no.
So bad.
Oh. Yeah, so thank you, Wish Chan, for reminding us the horrors of card captors.
PTSD lives on.
You just can't go back. You can't go back.
Indeed not.
No, but in all seriousness, I do have to thank card captors for propelling me to card captor Sakura, which in turn allowed me to discover new trials.
Same.
Okay, is there anything else you want to say?
I'm good.
All right. You've been listening to New Trials, the podcast, where it must rain for there to be a rainbow.
You've been listening to New Trials, the podcast. Please be sure to check out our audiobook version, where you can find anywhere you can find this podcast. Also, please be sure to check out the original fan fiction written by Wish Chan that you can find on wishluv.com/newtrials or on fanfiction. Also, be sure to also join the Facebook group for New Trials to keep up with any of our chapter discussion or related questions or chapter updates in general. We also now have a Google account at ntthepod@gmail.com. Please be sure to send us any chapter discussion questions you would like Preya and I to discuss. And please be sure to join us next week where we discuss Chapter 9, The Ticket to the Winter Rhapsody.